Let us know the India-US trade talks held today and what lies in it. Hello, you are watching The Global Eye and I am Mousumi. A significant diplomatic development is unfolding in New Delhi. Senior US trade negotiator Brendan Lynch met with India's commerce chief negotiator Rajesh Agrawal on September 16. Both sides described the meeting as positive and forward-looking. It marks the first direct contact after the US under President Donald Trump imposed steep tariffs on Indian goods and in some cases as high as 50%. Now let's know what happened. The US delegation arrived in Delhi on Monday night. On Tuesday, talks were held at the Ministry of Commerce, where negotiators agreed to keep up the momentum and continue discussions virtually while setting the stage for the next formal round. Interestingly, Indian officials have avoided calling this the sixth round of trade talks, instead describing it as a precursor, a preparatory step to clear ground for the actual negotiations. The backdrop indeed is very tense. Earlier this year, Washington slapped punitive tariffs on Indian exports, citing trade imbalances, even India's continued energy purchases from Russia. This has slowed trade flows and added strain to a partnership both countries see as strategically vital. Now, why it matters? This negotiation is not just about trade, it is about politics, strategy and positioning. For Washington, the tariffs reinforced Trump's America First image, but now the administration needs market access wins it can sell domestically, especially in agriculture, dairy and pharmaceuticals. For New Delhi, the goal is to defend small farmers, maintain industrial policy space and secure greater access for Indian services in the US markets. And at the same time, India insists on freedom to source energy wherever it chooses, including from Russia. At the geopolitical level, both countries see each other as essential partners in counterbalancing China in the Indo-Pacific. But if trade remains a stumbling block, the broader partnership weakens. Now, why positive may be more than spin? Governments often call talks positive even when little is achieved. Yes, in this case, the signals matter. This was the first in-person meeting since tensions flared, a symbolic reset. Both sides agreed to keep talks alive virtually, a sign of procedural convergence. And by calling it a precursor, India suggested both countries are lining up issues before the hard bargaining begins. That's how breakthroughs often start, not with big public concessions, but with quiet alignment on process. Now, what are the flashpoints to watch? Will the US demand an immediate rollback or accept a phased benchmark-based reduction? Washington's concerns over Russian oil imports versus India's insistence on sovereign choices. And agriculture and dairy, of course, highly sensitive in India, politically crucial in the US. About digital and services, a battlefield of rules with India pushing for freer movement of professionals and the US pushing for favorable digital regulations. It's there. And if you see the scenarios, the best case, a managed breakthrough, phased tariff cuts, face-saving language on energy and progress in digital trade. And the middle ground, a narrow technical deal, procedural agreements, but no major tariff relief. And the worst case would be a breakdown, further tariffs, possible retaliation and a hit to trust. And we need to look the risk, winners and losers. If a deal succeeds, exporters, services, sectors and geopolitical cooperation benefit, but farmers, small manufacturers and politically sensitive industries could lose protections. If talks fail, both sides risk higher cost for exporters and an erosion of trust that could spill into security ties. This was not the sixth round of talks, but the sixth attempt at rebuilding trust. Whether this positive meeting marks the beginning of a real breakthrough or just another pause before fresh tensions will depend on how negotiators balance politics with economics and how much room each country gives the other to protect its red lines. Now, if we ask if trade negotiations become tied to energy politics, are we still talking about trade or foreign policy leverage? Should India accept a sectoral phased deal or hold out for a comprehensive package? Can the US and India reconcile agricultural protection with market access demands without hurting their most vulnerable communities? Politically, who pays the price for compromise at home, Trump in Washington or the Indian government in Delhi? Could this deal become a global template for balancing strategic autonomy with deep trade integration? Think about it. For more updates and insights, keep watching The Global Eye.